make way for the owner and the CEO of Envy Dallas, Fuel Dallas Empire, previous coach, player, commentator. He's held pretty much every role possible when it comes to esports. We welcome in Hastro. How's morale these days, Mike? I think we might have Mike muted. I don't know. Can I hear him? Am I messed up on that? I don't know. It might be me. Chat, let me know. Am I messed up on that? That could be me. Waiting to hear from.
How about now? Is that better?
There we go. We're good.
Okay. That was on me.
There we go. No worries. But how's morale going these days, Mike? Everything good?
Yeah, I mean, these days everybody's morale is, in limbo because the whole world, we just want to figure out what's going on, and it's just going to take some time. But hope everybody out there watching and their families are very safe.
Absolutely. Have you got a chance to leave the house at all?
I've had plenty of chances, but I've stayed home. So
is that right?
Yeah, for the most part, I've been home.
Tell me, what's the coolest thing you have in your home office? And any Call of Duty memorabilia at all?
Oh man, cool things. I'm actually not in my office right now, but this room is definitely the coolest room in the house.
Is that right? I can't actually tell what that is.
Here, it's a media room actually. Here, I'll flip the camera around.
Oh, gotcha.
There you go.
Very cool.
Little movie theater.
How big is that screen?
120 inches.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little movie theater.
I like
this
that.
is like,
awesome.
I'm a diehard gamer, man. I'm going to keep it real.
Do you get a chance to play games on that?
I can play games right here where I'm sitting. I have a really good gaming PC hooked up right here, and I can use the big screen as a second monitor if I wanted, or a third.
Very cool. I think you're pretty well set up, to be honest.
I'm doing okay.
I think you're pretty well prepared. I think you're pretty okay when it comes down to.
But I've been gardening, dude. I haven't even been in here. This is the only reason that I have to come in this place. Yeah, we watched a family movie maybe a week ago in here, but I've been vegetable gardening, like no joke. So,
interesting.
Might as well just grow some vegetables in a time like this. Lots of uncertainty. We'll see what happens. Grow our own vegetables.
I see someone in chat saying full dad mode.
Dude, I'm done. Yeah, I'm full dad mode, man.
I love that.
Yeah, there will be a moment here in about a week where I probably start streaming again, and I'll start playing some Warzone. We got to do like a Daddy Hastro challenge. See if I can still like maintain my skill level across multiple games. We'll see how well I can do. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to watching those streams for sure. But let's go and transfer the conversation a little bit to kind of the current CDL circumstances as of right now. Tell me a little bit. Where were you when you learned the CDL was transferring the league to online? Was that a conversation that you were in? Was that something that you kind of heard about? Where were you when you learned that was taking place?
Every team works pretty closely with the league to coordinate something like this. I mean, we, as an our ownership group, we're having conversations amongst other ownership groups too, and coordinating with the league and trying to figure out, how we take this new kind of situation that we're faced with on. And it's a very coordinated effort, in terms of ownership groups of various teams having contact with Activision Blizzard Esports.
Now, I'm not sure how much you can share with us, obviously, at this time, but is there anything that you can say about the online league's future and maybe the possible format that we could expect?
Not too many details. I'll leave that up to the league to announce and for them to talk about. But what I will say is that, back when I was competing, this was kind of normal. And yeah, I mean, LAN environment is definitely way more ideal for gameplay and so on and so forth. But, the online is still pretty solid, and we always competed online. I mean, we played all of our pro circuit ladders in 2008 and 2009 were all completely online. And then we had one national championship each year. In 2010, we played a ton online, going through the history. It's back then online games were pretty accepted, as normal. And sure, there are lots of issues that can arise out of playing online, but come on, let's all be real. Like, for the sake of competitive Call of Duty, let's keep this shit alive right now and have some fun with it. It's the best possible case that we have to deal with, and the best possible scenario is for us to keep playing and play it online. And so anybody who whines and complains about it, you're a bitch, just straight up. Like, just just quit your complaining, and let's keep having some good games on the internet. And everybody's gonna out there is gonna say, oh, easy for the Empire to say. Well, you know what? We had years of competitive Call of Duty action on the internet where we would get booted offline, and things that would happen to our team and so on. So it doesn't matter, like at the end of the day, just embrace it. It's the best we can do, and let's have fun with it.
So is it fair to say you think the land to online thing is in some ways overblown, or maybe the right word would be kind of over dramatified, possibly?
um I mean, look, pro players are in Call of Duty are pretty whiny in general. Like, and look, I'm one of them, man. I get salty on Twitter sometimes. You guys see me complaining sometimes. I say some things that I have to take back and just apologize for it every now and then. But it's everybody complains a little bit. Uh, get it out of our system. Just get it out. Like I would prefer you do it some other way instead of dogging the game that you love and play every day. But um, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can complain a little bit about certain things. There definitely will be moments that aren't ideal, but that's what makes competitive Call of Duty fun. I feel like, some of our scene is kind of hinging on a little bit of the drama and, kind of the crazy, wacky things that happen in competitive Call of Duty. It's what makes it just a really great community to be a part of. And, it's great to be a fan of some of these players and teams and get to watch their moments of glory. And it's equally fun to watch moments of meltdown. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people at the very least are interested to see exactly how the online league, kind of translates. And kind of one of those aspects, I know that you were obviously someone who was pretty heavily involved with kind of the restructuring idea of what was kind of the previous CDL league format, from kind of regular league matches to tournament play. Was the format something that you were kind of worried about before the online league conversations started to kind of come into the picture?
No, I felt like we were like really on the right path, to creating a really cool product, with the format of the events, having 8 teams duke it out in kind of 2 group stages into a championship bracket. Like I thought that was actually a pretty neat format, and it was
Mhm.
pretty exciting to play in. The last one in London or in LA that
Yep.
we won, that was cool, and the one in London was neat to watch too. And Atlanta had a good event. Like I don't know, I was getting into it, and really like our team was really getting into it too. I mean,
Sure.
we're into it, and but we're already focused on like the next step now. I mean, we're already past that, and the format was great, I thought, and hopefully the fans enjoyed it. Maybe we can make it better in some ways. Maybe trying to figure out a way next year where we can have all 12 teams. But it's kind of difficult when you have um, uh, we had kind of pivoted the model a little bit already. So,
Sure.
maybe next year we can incorporate, if we're still at 12 teams, 2 groups of 6 at the events and figure it out somehow that way. But yeah, I mean, so far, I think the format, the changes were headed in the right direction. I was feeling really good about it.
Now, kind of from an owner's perspective, and obviously a prior pro player's perspective, are there any precautions that you would like to see addressed? Obviously, from a public perspective, we don't know about these things that maybe could already be addressed. But kind of from your perspective, the way that you sit, are you kind of in some ways interested to see the way that the league kind of handles what could be DDoS attacks? I know a lot of people kind of brought up the idea of dedicated servers, et cetera, things like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's part of the show, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's going to be part of the show. I mean, it just has to be, and hopefully we can go in the right direction. I mean,
sure.
hopefully during this time, everybody wants to, see people be successful and have something that makes people happy.
Absolutely. Now, ask or I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is there any frustration whatsoever at all about the memes being made around the Dallas Empire and online? I know the Dallas Empire is with the router and things like that, but
Yeah.
is there any frustration considering you guys just won LA and now all these memes are kind of filling up Reddit?
No, it's all funny now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fun now, and we're leaning into it now. I mean, it's fun, right? Like we were always having fun before that too.
Mhm.
Um, but we had to go out and prove it, at least like
Sure.
get close to proving it. We still have a little left to prove. for sure, and we're coming for those teams. But um, like we're having fun with it. It's funny to us. It is what it is. Um, yeah, we're really good online, but we just showed that we can be really good on land too, and we also showed nothing but progress, man. That's what I love about our team, and I'm so happy about is that we've shown progress every single match we've played. Just about like you can just see like visible progress in the games, and that our team's just starting to click. And we made some changes to the positions that the players are playing, and seeing that click. And we're committed to winning, man. Like we're going to be competitive no matter what. And yeah, we kind of beat our chests a little bit too much at the beginning of the season, but it made us just work even harder. So yeah, I feel good.
Now, to set the record straight for the folks at home a little bit, what are the true, and I'm saying the true NVHQ internet speeds? What are those officially? You think?
Oh man, I don't know if I'd be giving up too much.
I know I've seen a few people. I think you posted the
No,
picture
let's
of, like,
just put
the
it this way.
server and stuff.
We expect that most teams and players with fiber internet connections will have the same similar speeds as us. We didn't go too crazy with it.
So there you go, Call of Duty competitive scene.
No, let me actually tell you. I'll tell you
Sure.
guys. You put it on Reddit, right? You can put this on Reddit. For us to upgrade our internet from a 1 gig by 1 gig fiber connection in our HQ, it would have cost us about $300,000 to go to a 10 by 10 gig connection. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the wiring of our new HQ and a bunch of stuff. But when they said, if you want to go 1 gig to 10 gig, it's going to cost you, nearly $300,000.
Goodness.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. Couldn't pull the trigger on that.
I don't blame you on that one, to be honest.
Yeah. So we have a 1 by 1, but I think we have I can't give up too much more info than
Sure,
that.
right.
We have multiple lines in that HQ.
Well, there you go. Like I said, Call of Duty competitive scene. Your questions have been answered, and possibly a little bit, maybe kind of maybe confirmed a little bit. But
Yeah.
it must have hurt. I know, kind of transferring from the online to LAN conversation, it must have hurt a little bit, right? At the very least, to be kind of the next event up right after the LAN league cancellation with COVID-19. But what can you kind of tell fans about what would have been done at CDL Dallas?
Uh, well, we would have had a really cool venue. I'll say that Toyota Music Factory, where we
Yeah.
were supposed to hold our event, is just a really brand new kind of music concert, festival kind of venue. I don't know, can't really call it a hall, but it's very cool. They have these big garage doors that can open up into a big grass hill that turns it into a big amphitheater. It seats about 4,500 people indoors, and you can put another 2,000 people on the grassy hill behind it. And it was just going to look cool. They have really, really big video boards in there already. We were going to bring in, a bit of a show in there, and the tickets were starting to sell really well. So very disappointing. We were looking forward to a really big crowd in Dallas.
Who came up with the name Empire? Is that something you can credit to yourself?
Yeah, actually, it was Graham Henry, our VP of Vice President of Team Operations. Graham and I have been friends since our freshman year in college, and he's helped me run the team for many years. And yeah, Graham we had tons of names that were coming out. I mean, we went through 100 different names I at least looked at, and we picked a few and we started running with a couple, but Graham was ultimately the one that had that first initial idea in an email to me. So have to give credit where credit is due.
Do you have any other ones that were kind of close?
Hold on, I think my headset just gave out.
Oh,
Nope, I can't hear you anymore, LandO.
oh no.
No, now you're good.
We're good now.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Did you get to hear the question? I hope.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we had some other ones, but I don't want to talk too much about them. I'll talk about one
Sure.
because I think we registered it. It was the Dallas Republic, which was not as good. I don't think, but the state of Texas used to be its own republic.
Right.
It was its own little republic, for a little while before they annexed and joined in the Union, the
Sure.
United States. So little bit of history, behind the state of Texas there.
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
And speaking a little bit more about history, kind of one of my favorite things about the kind of the Empire name is obviously the logo that's associated with it. And on topic with history is the envy, right? The N and the V that exists in the crown. Is that something that you came up with? Was that something to credit to someone else again, or who kind of came up with that
I mean,
design?
it's a team effort, but really the person that you have to credit there is our kind of producer, videographer, editor for the Empire, which is Joe Fries. So we had like a massive, group discussion many times, actually, many group discussions, many iterations with a design studio that the league, works with us on. And but ultimately, what ended up happening was we had a very long Discord call with some of the best designers and kind of minds within our company, and many logos were getting passed around, many ideas and thought boards, and lots of discussion. And then
Sure.
Joe, took the whole concept of me wanting the envy incorporated into the crown and created that. And when he dropped it into the Discord chat to all of us, we were all on the call, and everybody was just like, "Yep, that's the one." So it worked out really well. We all knew it when we saw it, I think.
Have you gotten a chance to play some Warzone at all?
Not really, man. So no, I haven't.
Has it been
I
the
haven't.
gardening?
I've been gardening in my spare time.
There
It's
you
weird.
go. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I don't really know how I got into that so much, but yeah, I've been on my like back patio, like, getting a little garden going. It's actually a pretty big garden, but yeah, I'm kind of feeling being outdoors a little bit around my house and taking it easy. But I did promise the guys that I would fire up. I ordered a bunch of streaming equipment and
there you
got some
go.
stuff ready. If we're gonna stay at home for a while, then I want to
Sure.
be playing games with my friends and my teammates. So I'll probably start streaming a little bit, and maybe I'll do a little kind of dip into the content in the garden. So I'll take my webcam out to.
I'm ready for it. I
Yeah, you ready
am.
for that? Okay.
I'm ready for a YouTube series.
Yeah,
I'm at the very
we'll
least
prune
ready
cucumber
for.
and tomato plants together.
There you go. I'm at the
Yeah.
very least just ready for kind of pictures, progress pictures over time. I think that could
Okay.
be
We'll start
interesting.
there in our
All right.
gardening relationship, Lando.
Okay. It could turn into something. It could turn into something great. Who knows? Things have come from crazier circumstances. And final question. And I want to, and this is something that I've actually always wanted to kind of ask you in terms of the way that kind of Envy has developed as a brand. Obviously, one of, if not the most historical Call of Duty esports brand ever. When you think of Call of Duty and the brand Envy or Envious previously, is there a specific, and we're talking about Call of Duty here, but is there a specific player that you think of first when you think of the brand Envy, the way that meant to Call of Duty? Is there a player that you think of first whenever those two things come into mind?
Oh, that's a really tough one. One player?
Yeah,
Nah, there's no way.
no way.
There's no way.
A group of players then.
Envy was made up of a lot of players. I mean, we've had so many players play for Envy, man, and some that I love, and
Sure.
I mean, there's just too many. Like, they're just too many. Um, I think one day we will have kind of like a, Ring of Honor type thing with Envy, Hall of
Mhm.
Fame, and there will be plenty of guys that make it into that, I think. Um, but yeah, there are a few. There are a few, man. I actually like almost every single player that's coming through our organization. I've had at least in Call of Duty over
Mm,
the years. I've had some pretty good relationships with them, mostly in the early years, and kind of the last few years. It's been a little bit more difficult for me to spend a lot of time with our teams, but
sure.
um, before that, I mean, I was basically living with most of the guys in our
Right.
team house, or I'd live, a couple miles away and go visit them pretty often, almost every day. So
Right.
it's tough. Sorry, I can't be more specific.
Hey, it's all
I
right.
can't.
Like I said, well, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out maybe in the future. Like you said, maybe some type of related content to figure out maybe who those people kind of were or over time. But I want to
Okay.
take one quick question from the chat, which comes from Aditya. I think I said that correctly. If not, my apologies. But the question is, what's Mike's advice on starting a business and growing it? Obviously, much like you did with Envy, Dallas Empire, Dallas Fuel, etc.
Yeah, I just looked in the chat. Yeah, honestly, you really just have to love what you do every day, man. Do not start a business that you think is just a good idea to make money. I mean, do something that you actually truly just love and try to create a business around it. And most people don't just have one thing that they love in their life. I mean, you can have multiple passions, but pick one that is probably the best for you to go into business with. And that way you're always protected, knowing that you have to get up and grind and work, that you're not going to get burnt out as easily. You're not going to be as much let's say overloaded and overworked and not feel confident in what you're doing every day. If you love what you're doing every day, then it doesn't really feel like work.
There you go. That's Astro, owner and CEO of Dallas Fuel, Dallas Empire. Mike, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Oh, thank you guys, and hope you guys give LandO a lot of love. He's working hard, so give some love to the channel and share LandO's stuff, because dude's the man and going to be covering COD in the best way possible. So hope to come back and talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. I think we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about probably in the coming days, coming weeks for sure.
Okay, well, I'll sign off. Thanks for having me, guys.